Our PSA is racial, ethnic, minorities, Hispanic, Chicano, Latino, Latina, Latinx by group number 6. So a myth is for our topic is Hispanics, Latino, and Latinas from different countries come to the United States because they wanted to. Some facts that I got from this is that some Latin American immigrants have faced distinct migration circumstances because of political context in both their countries of origin and the United States. Some other facts that are continued is circumstances of migration would be more strongly associated with poor health outcomes for Cubans and many other Latinos and or Hispanics. Also, Puerto Ricans who migrated to the United States between 2007 and 2015 identified employment as the most common reason for migration. In Mexico, the debt crisis, periodic devaluation of the peso, and natural disasters like the Great Earthquake of 1985 helped to stimulate even more waves of out migration by both males and females.
All right, for our next myth, we have all Hispanic/Latino Latinas speak Spanish. So starting with the number one fact, a person can be Latino and Hispanic, but a person does not need to speak Spanish to be considered a Latino/Latina. Some facts continued. Many Latinos/Latinas come from countries where Spanish is not their primary language. In an article I found, it says, for example, 58% of immigrant Hispanics say speaking Spanish isn't a necessary component of the Latino identity, as do 87% of US-born Hispanics. The 2015 survey of Latino adults also shows that among Hispanics registered voters, 81% say speaking Spanish is not required but to be considered Hispanic.
For the next myth, all immigrants are Latino/Latina, specifically Mexican. Facts. In 2018, there were more than 40 million people that were considered immigrants. Continuing on with that, with the largest portion being from Mexico, immigrants come from all over the world, including China, India, the Philippines, and many more. Updated, this year in August, there were only 25% total of Mexicans that are immigrants here in the US. To assume that all immigrants are Latino/Latina and Mexican is very inaccurate. Immigrants come from many different areas in the world, not just specifically from Mexico.
Our next myth is that all Hispanic men work while Hispanic women cook. Facts. In more recent years, Latina mothers were more likely to be the breadwinner in the family. In 2016, there were 11.4 million Hispanic women in the civilian labor force. That's 1 in 7 women and 7.2% of the total labor force. By 2024, Hispanic women's participation is projected to increase to almost 14 million or 8.5% of the total labor force. More white breadwinning mothers are married than Latina and Black mothers, meaning most Black and Latina breadwinning mothers are single parents providing for their families. Next myth is that Hispanic/Latino and Latinos are uneducated. In the recent US Census Bureau reports indicates that while high school dropout rates for Hispanic high school students are steadily declining, college enrollment among Hispanic high school graduates is at a record high. In 2016, 47% of Hispanic high school graduates ages 18 to 24 were enrolled in college, up from 32% in 1999. College graduation rates for Latinas have increased faster than any other group of women. Hispanics are also significantly less likely than other groups to have student debt because they are more likely than others to attend community colleges, which generally have lower tuition than four-year schools.
Our final myth is that all Latinos or Hispanics are Catholic. The facts are Latino-Hispanic culture has strong ties to religion, with more than 90% of Latino-Hispanic Americans identifying as religious. 55% of Latino adults in the United States identify as Catholic. Although there's a strong connection between Latino culture and the Catholic Church, there has been a major shift in Latino Hispanic Americans identifying as Protestant and evangelical. Approximately 24% of Latino adults identify as former Catholics and have come to identify with a different religion or denomination.
And that concludes our presentation on our topic for this PSA. Thank you.